Alright, Quikaragon versus Muldoon. And then we'll do Azamain versus McJim. After that. Muldoon is French, and Quikaragon is España. So it's Spain versus France. We've seen Spain versus France in this tournament, and I can tell you it's an interesting one. Last time, I believe Spain really clapped France pretty hard because they were able to maintain a quick deployment of double barracks musketeer, and France just wasn't able to maintain a defense against that. Because before they knew it, the Spain was already in age 3 and domineering them pretty quickly there. So, yeah, it's going to be a pretty tough one for France, I think. At least from what the previous experience of this tournament has told us. Yeah, so France obviously building a trading post. Spain also builds a trading post. 2 very card shipment based civs, I would say, for different reasons. Spain because they get shipments very quickly, so they love to have that TP in play. And then for France, their big dream, they had a dream, get to age 3 with the fast fortress, get skirms, get dragoons, get falconets, get glissés, and get the second skirmisher shipment too. So yeah, it's basically what they do there. Yeah. But we'll check the decks though. We'll check the decks, see what we're looking at. Especially Spain. I especially want to know it's Spain, it's 1v1. So I think we're going to see Musketeers start with Spain again. At least from what we're seeing. We're not seeing a straight up naked fast fortress Spain. But they could do that. But it depends on how comfortable they feel. If they think they could do a naked fast fortress, greedy into Spanish gold, to get all those extra gold crates, a Spanish treasure chest, they might do that, but it's not a given. It's not a given. It really depends on a lot of factors if they feel like they could handle something like that, you know? Yeah, definitely. Big time. So let's see if they can queue up another villager there, potentially. Should be quite good. Well. Okay, now if they go with 12 villager into quartermaster, right? Quartermaster, Spain, France, and then España's probably going to go governor, right? So the thing is, because Spain gets shipments a lot faster, they're not only able to get 3 villagers, they're able to get 3 villagers plus capitalism. So all thanks to that trading post addition, they can essentially get the same amount of villagers as any other civ does with the settlers, and then gold trickle, too, on top of it. So their economy starting out is looking kind of nice, you know? Yeah, so I wonder what we're going to see with Spain. Spain is actually a little behind here. You know, they're only on 16 vills, and they're missing 300 food or so. I'm a little bit scared for Spain that they might not have planned their stuff out accordingly. Yeah. So what's this treasure? A tomahawk? Yeah, no, they need to catch up to age up time because it looks like the France is going to be way ahead of the game on them there. They're almost aged up at this point. You know? Is he going to go for an age 3 or is he going to go ancien regime? Oh, interesting. Interesting. So he is not going to go age 3. He's going to go ancien regime. So ancien regime is a card that gives you a native embassy, and from it you can train House of Bourbon units. So you can make the Royal Dragoons and the Royal Musketeers. Why does that matter? Royal Musketeers are like really powerful muskets. They're considered native warriors. But what this card does, it takes those native warriors and it adds a population cost to them. So it's not like you can just have them as an extra unit in your army. You actually have to make them your primary army. So get a build limit of like 15 of them. And what sets these muskets apart from regular ones is they get a charge attack where they pull out their pistol. And then they just shoot you and do a ton of damage. And then they fight you with musket and saber then. And are essentially a pretty well reasonable musket unit, yeah. But it's that charge attack with the pistol that makes him a godsend of a unit because they just shred through HP like a paper shredder and then engage in more combat. So he's already queuing up the Royal Muskets right now. and he's sure to push him right away with these. But unfortunately, it looks like he's not macroing very well because he can only queue up one of them. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But actually got 2 of them. But still, notice this. The normal range attack on these muskets is 22. Hand attack's 40%, which is great. And then the HP is 160. And then this is the hand attack here. So, on its own, it's an okay musket with some really good hand stats. But when it comes to the charge attack, it's 44 with the pistol. 44. That's almost like an Imperial Musketeer doing a volley there with the charge attack. And because of that, that's why people go with Ancien Regime rushes with France. Just so they can essentially cap on that pistol attack so that the enemy army just gets shredded. And then they just chase after him with the rest with their musket and their saber. That's the idea of it at the end. With their rapier or whatever that sword is, basically, that they use. What is the sword that the French, the fencing sword that they use? Is it a saber? Is it a fencing sword? Is it a... I forget what they call those swords that the 3 musketeers used to use in combat. Yeah, it's pretty strange actually. So, yeah. Alright, so 3 royal muskets. Is he gonna be able to queue up any more of them? Looks like yes, more royal muskets on the way. Very good. We'll be able to stack up a ton of these things. Beautiful. He's got 5 of them now, actually. So let's see how he uses them. Let's see where he uses those charge attacks. I would use them against the dogs because you know how much these dogs cost, like 100 food, right? Or 80 food actually. So if you can gut those dogs, you're wasting his food so much by making the dogs go away quickly. I know PETA's gonna be mad about it, but that's just the way it is. Hussars, look! Oh no, they're trapped. He's caught in a trap. Caught in a trap with the buildings. He built too closely. He can't squeegee through this market to get away from him. Oh, that's horrible. It's absolutely devastating, actually. That's why you can't build too close to the mine, because he could have maybe ran around there, ring around the Rosied into the town center, but he got forced into the opposite direction, which is really bad. Alright, so now he can finally get out, and he can continue gathering. Now, he's going to get native warrior combat, which is going to give him 15% additional stats on all his units there, which is quite good. Staple also going up. So he's going to queue up Hussar with Royal Musketeer, which is great. Oh no, not again, not again. He's idling. No, he's gonna lose a CBD. He's gonna lose 2 CBDs, 3 CBDs. Three CBDs. That's horrible. You don't want to do that. Oh, he's making Apaches now out of the embassy. Look at that. He's actually making Apaches. That's interesting. Oh, he's actually going Dragoons. Okay, so the Spain goes up with the bishop, gets a covered wagon, so now he's on 2 town centers, but the Spain is now idling his Ville. Oh, can you get that on, I think if he shot a little bit faster, he would have gotten that Ville. I understood why he wanted to waive that, so he didn't lose too many troops, but, yeah, that's totally understandable there, honestly. That's all I'm going to say about that, pretty much, yeah. So, yeah, here we go. Wilderness warfare. It does beef up the villager HP, so no more crazy Hussar raids to worry about.
Bonjour.
And then it also beefs up its natives, so it beefs up his Apache riders, it beefs up his royal muskets. Everything that has a native tag or a villager tag gets tankier, as well as his skirmishers too. So when he's making skirmishers later, those will also be improved by it. So it can help a wide plethora of units that you use during the game, which is quite good. Yeah, I don't know about this. This is a tough one because I think that Spain got away with way too many Hussar raids there, and it might have pinned down the French just enough for him to go for a big push. Spain went for 5 Lancers, strong, brutal, countered infantry. So he's trying to smother him with the Royal Muskets, which seems to be working. So that worked. Now, okay, so France now has Hussars, and he is able to overpower the enemy Hussars, especially with the help of that one Apache cab there. And now he's going to charge the Hussars into Spain skirmishers. So it's not a cut and dry 8-3 advantage for Spain now, because Spain burned through the Lancers, lost his Hussars, and now the skirmishers are now in check. He's now going to try to queue in Lancers, queue in skirms, ship in rods, big rod 9 shipment. But he's going to have to find a good place to put those rods in, because now he's got Hussars running around his base. He's got Royal Muskets running in his base. Oh, he's rushing the skirms with the Royal Muskets. Pretty nice. But now he's got, France has 2 Lancers on now, so he has to deal with these appropriately now. But the rods, I thought the rods were going to try to block a bit and prevent the Royal Muskets from smothering the cav, but it looks like nah. They're still going to be able to rush one of these Royal Muskets. Oh, the Town Sargam, okay. Yeah, no, this is a tough battle here. I mean, both sides are like getting each other's economies. It's a bloodbath, yeah. So some rods are remaining. Spain is going to continue to train some skirms now, it looks like. And the fight will commence. 1,000 wood. Good choice. Yeah, he doesn't know quite what his enemy's doing, so he's not going to send Spanish gold in just yet, because he's only going to do that when he feels comfy as a pillow. Once he feels as comfy as a pillow, then he can go for that Spanish gold. But until then, he has to play it safe. He just doesn't know what his opponent is doing, you know. Because right, he's like working with no army. He's got like 6 upgraded rods and then some skirms. A lot can go wrong with that, yeah. But it looks like the Spain will queue up Dragoon, Skirm. Skirms for the Royal Muskets, and then Dragoon for the Hussars. Skirms will also work against the Apache Riders too, so Skirm Dragoon kind of makes sense there for the Spain at the moment. Yeah, it pretty much does. Whereas France continues with Royal Muskets and Apache Riders, so he's going to go Apache Royal Musket. A bit of a gaping wound of skirms, so he has to be careful there. Also, the rods can rush his Apaches as well as he's doing right now. I don't like that he doesn't have any multipliers against Dragoon either, so he's going to be relying on his charge attack to take out the Dragoons. But at least his Dragoons theoretically won't have multipliers against him either, so... Okay, so those villas going to be targeted. Yes, one of them is down. The other one gets away. Very nice. Look at all those skirms getting to work there. Quite good. Quite good indeed. Yeah, very nice. Native treaties. Native treaties gives you a batch of natives from every tribe to do allied to, so he's going to get some free Apaches, and he's going to get some free Cheyenne warriors as well, so that's actually a pretty valuable card there for the France. He's going to queue up Apaches and Hussars, so he's committing to an H2 native push, but he's got to stay on his toes. If he lets the Spain develop too much, he's going to lose out to these skirms and dragoons, so he has to be very much on his toes here and not give him a single chance to like build a big army. Spain builds a big army of lancers, dragoons, skirms. It's over for the France. But if France can keep biting him apart with his army, I think this should be able to work there pretty much. Yeah, 100%. Okay, so the Cheyennes and the Hussars guarding against the rods for now. This is kind of annoying actually, because these vills have the villager tag, so there's a malice for these Apaches. So he actually has to fight, muddle through all of these villagers before he can fight the military. And, yeah, no, it's kind of frustrating actually. He kind of wish that the Bills weren't there, his France right now, because he kind of just want to hit his army now and grind his army down. Is he queuing up more rods? Yeah, he's queuing up rods now. They're not upgraded though, so yeah, it's not. I get why he's doing it. He's doing it because they have anti-cav multipliers and they're speedy. That's why he's queuing up rods. But I personally would stick with skirms if it was me, because if he does royal muskets again or something, yeah, no. The only reason I would not consider that is if he has SRs. But he only made like one SR though, so it's obvious from a battlefield perspective that he's not just going straight up. Yeah, but looks like with all this chaos, the France will actually take the momentage up. He's gonna kite very carefully here and maybe take out one or two of these rods. Yeah, and try to maintain some distance and distraction so he can maybe get a power shipment out or two. So he'll be able to continue this native sort of build in Age 2 with the veteran upgrades on now, and then get some critical shipments like Falcons, Cuirassiers, Dragoons, Skirms, and maybe close the gap finally. Oh no, no defense, really? That's not good. You're gonna lose one CBD, two CBD, three CBD. Yeah, trying to be the counting the dead villagers. That's more like it. Oh, actually, no, 3 got away. There was no tres, only uno and dos, no tres. So, thankfully those Apaches were able to intercept there. Man's gonna lose a TP to rods and skirms, unfortunately. These rods are up to veteran finally, so these rods are a little bit more impactful here for the Spain, it looks like, yeah. Alright, so... Okay, now the Spain is comfortable enough to get the Spanish gold. So he's going to pick that up probably, so all these cards he sends are going to give him some extra gold to reinforce with more artillery and other elite units like lances. Alright, so it looks like the France actually goes with the bishop. Now he's going to get a covered wagon up there, so he's going to be working on 2 town centers now. The France is actually going industrial age. He's actually going industrial age. So is he going to go like heavy cannons? Is he going for heavy artillery? Because that could be a pretty good way to blast his opponent back, I think. You could blast him to smithereens if he gets heavy cannons. Well, I think he might. He is actually getting native warriors to cheapen the cost of native troops. So you know natives is on the ballot. You know, he's still going to keep doing natives. And now they're going to be a lot cheaper to train now, too. So that's good. That's good. He's going to also start making Royal Dragoons. Royal Dragoons, they have a bit more range than the average Dragoon, so that's where their recipe of success. So these are going to cost like 75 food and gold now, which is a pretty good cost considering how expensive it is. Yeah, just a little bit more expensive than a musket, right? For a skirm. Tycoon, 1,000 gold. So what is he getting? He's getting artillery, heavy cans. He's got a TC up here, so he can just relocate up there and get his heavy cannon up there. I think, and that would be kind of okay. Yeah. He's also going to have Royal Dragoons to protect them as well. So he is going to get heavy cans. Probably get some factories if he can secure them. And then just defend with all of this range cavalry as his sort of protectors there. Yeah. Quite nice, actually. Quite good. so World Dragoons doing some good work there. They got about 17 range, so they actually got more range than a crossbowman does. So they're actually a pretty good sniper unit. And then once you get ranged cavalry capital, then you get to a range of like 19. So just under that of a skirmisher. Alright, so heavy cannons are going to scare away those skirms, send them flying back. But right now, France, you got to get some protection for these heavy cannons. He's gonna have to come up with some sort of solution of ranged cavalry and possibly other troops to, why is he going in the front of these rods and skirms? That is so, oh man, I don't like that at all. He had like no reason to do that. He's gotta stop exposing his troops. He's gonna die doing that. Stop exposing your army like that. It's not good. He has to consolidate, get some army, and just do it. Oh, interesting. So Cheyenne hunting grounds. So he's gonna get a ton of free bison out of that in this town center. Look at all the meat he's gonna get. Look at all that juicy meat. I mean, it's not juicy meat. Bison meat is actually really gamey and stuff, but still food. Still food. I've heard some say that bison's actually more lean than beef. So if they don't like beef because it's too fatty or whatever, they actually just eat bison. If you don't mind the gamey taste of a bison burger, I guess you can end up doing that, I suppose. Yeah, so what is France up to? So he hasn't made any additional troops yet. He's still on. Oh wow, look at that heavy can downing a lancer. That's quite nice. So he's gonna continue with veteran Royal Dragoons and probably get them to guard. So this is the problem here, and this is going to be serious. All Spain really has to do is get culverins, and that's exactly what he did. Because this man has like no substance-based army there to back these cans up. So, yeah, no, he's just going to pick them apart like a pickled pepper with these culverins. Just like that. That is very not good. Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's insane. Insane in the membrane, yeah. Oh boy. Tell me about it. That's like crazy, yeah. Along there at this point, yeah, pretty much. Big time. Alright, so look at all these rods though. He's running a ton of rods. Pretty speedy army there to start pressuring stuff with. Especially cabin artillery. He's even guard yet? No, they're still veterans, so he's not even. He's got his factories on, so he was planning on going heavy artillery from the factories with like natives or something. That's taking a long time to. Oh, he's gonna down his factory waggy. Factory waggy. No, factory waggy, no. Oh man, that's bad. It's over. It's over. Quikaragon is ragging you up like a big wet rag. Whatever a ragging is. Yeah, he's ragging you like crazy. That's like brutal, man. Crazy. That's not a situation you want to find yourself in on the battlefield. Absolutely not. Big time. Yep, skirms will scare those off. TC will go down, followed by factory. Factory might get a heavy can, but at this point, it's just going to be smothered with rods and lancers, and it's not going to last very long. You can tell right away that that's just not going to happen, you know? So there we go with the heavy cannon. It's going to deploy somewhere over there, right? Yeah, pretty much right in that spot. Good. Very good. Oh, petards. Wow, petards. That's awesome. Yeah, you know who loves to make petards? HVNI, Mr. Replay, quick replay guy. He loves petards. Yeah, if you're ever in a pinch and you want to siege a building real quickly, just get petards, man. It's a fun unit. It's food and wood, so it's a trash unit, and it just nukes structures with very little numbers, you know. Very wonderful in that sense. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, he's in a losing ship at this point. I don't know what to tell him. I don't know what he's got himself into. Alright, so he's just getting veteran upgrade on these Apaches right now. It's scary to think of how little troops he was making in Age 3, followed by how little upgrades he was getting in veteran Bourbon. Okay, so that's man, that's poop. Apache Raiders. Yeah, no, this is totally a GG, well-played situation. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to this man. I would resign at this stage. Like, I wouldn't even try to fight because I already lost a town center. I lost 2 factories. One wasn't even produced. Your army is looking meager. Like, he's only just running around with a couple Royal Dragoons. Like, this is not a combative strategy here. He's just stalling time. Whereas Spain is already industrial age. He's already caught up in age. He's got, you know, his own stuff. He can get his factories. He can get cannons there. Pretty much, yeah. Now, yep, also this card's pretty good. Gives skirmishers 20% damage, but only musket infantry 10% damage. I wonder why that is. Probably because of balance, I think, or something. But I don't know. I don't know why they need to do that necessarily. But, also, these Royal Dragoons have like a crazy hand attack. 35 hand attack? See? It's pretty good. I mean, that's pretty good for a hand cap. I shouldn't say hand cap, a range cap. That's quite good for a range cap. Yeah, I would call it quits a long time ago after seeing this mess. Big time. Like, I don't even know what he's doing there strategically on the field. Big time. Really not good. So, Vills are basically just in there waiting to die at this point to skirmishers. He just shot me, guy, hey, shoot me already so I can resign. That's what he's going to do. There. CBDs are actually fighting back kind of well. Look at that. Look at the CBDs. They're actually taking casualties on the enemy. That just shows you how good CBDs are when used right. They can actually hold their own against a lot of stuff. And he didn't even get Pioneers on these either, right? If he got Pioneers on, he'd be even doing even better combat-wise. Yeah, no. CBDs are a real threat, man. You gotta be careful of them because they can really mess you up your army if you're not careful. And they're also rushing the culls. And now he has to fight through the rods. Oh, man. Look at the rods just smothering him. It's the only way you're gonna make it work is just surround him with tons of rods because CBDs have range armor, so they can fight with their guns pretty well, but when it comes to melee, they're not like regular Vills, they at least have hand armor, so the rods with their, you know, 17 hand attack, or very 19 hand attack, as a Spadachins are quite beefy indeed, yeah, quite substantial. Alright, so let's go on to the next one now. I thought that was a pretty fascinating one. I feel like, personally, if the France was playing more standard-like, probably would have gotten an easy win there because you saw how Spain was stalled there with their timing on the age up. I feel like that was a great opportunity for yeah, no, I think that was a lost opportunity there for the player. He just slipped right through his fingers there.